What's up? Welcome to our first official video. I am Brandon.
And I'm Thad. What's going on, guys? We got a lot of stuff to talk to y'all about.
Got a little stuff.
This is the sports segment, and today we're going to discuss the rankings of the NBA's top 30 players on the Instagram.
Based off of ESPN's personal.
Yeah, NBA on ESPN. Follow them. They know what they're talking about sometimes. But we're going to pretty much go into this thing right now. We're going to discuss the top 30. We were going to discuss the top 50. It's 100 overall, but some notables are Sean Kemp at 100, Kevin Love at 99, James Harden in the high 90s, low 80s. Ray Allen was 50, AI 46, etc.
I got a basketball.
This guy.
Just for the occasion.
We're going to start off in the top 30s. And coming in at number 30, the two-time back-to-back NBA MVP.
There it is.
Eight-time All-Star Steve Nash. Now, a lot of people may say that's pretty high, but Steve Nash did work. He got buckets when he needs to, but he's known for dishing out assists. Right, Brian?
I like the years Steve Nash had Amari Stoudemire and the Suns.
They ran the court.
Yeah. You know, the West is very competitive, as everybody fucking knows. It's pretty nice to see that Steve Nash at least made the top 30.
Yeah.
I feel personally he could have got higher, but you know, I don't really know what ESPN's basing this off of, because you know, you got to consider the fact that Steve didn't win a championship, but hey, he had some MVPs in there, and you know, he did pretty good. Suns did pretty good in the West.
And just know, if you are on Steve Nash's team, you gonna run, cause the man gonna get it out to you, know.
Yeah,
in open court on fast breaks.
At his age, bro. Steve
and
was gone.
Notably, his team, the Suns, they would always make it to the Western Conference Finals, but they run into Lakers most of the time, maybe Spurs sometimes, and they couldn't push it to the finals where.
A Darren Williams led Utah Jazz.
I'm pretty sure if they would have went to the finals, depending on who they faced, they probably would have won. Steve Nash would have gotten at least one ring before he retired, and that would have, you know what I'm saying?
And maybe if the Lakers weren't so trash these last few years, he might would have got something in some purple and gold. That's the way it goes, though. Next.
Coming in at number 29 is CP3. Now, a lot of people are going to say, wait, there's no way CP3 is better than Nash. Nash, a two-time MVP. Chris Paul, no MVPs. And never made it to, not even the Western Conference Finals.
Nobody's finals. Nobody.
Not even the Western. But yet and still, he is number 29 in front of Nash. I like CP. I like Chris Paul. One of my favorite point guards. But when it came down to it, like Steve Nash, he could assist the ball, but when it came down to it and you needed buckets, he was pretty clutch. So if they going off of overall offense, and then he could also guard pretty well, he could defend the other guards pretty well, because Steve Nash wasn't known for his defense. But he gets steals, you know what I'm saying?
CP3 was the man with these steals. I'm going to make a guess. This is a hypothesis. You can say what you want. I don't care. But I'm thinking that maybe Chris Paul's Hornet years might have hurt him a little bit. You know, they've always struggled down there in the Crescent City, so that might have been the reason why he's not as high up on the list. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
20 was it 29? 29 is okay, but you know, I do kind of feel like he's cheated a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, a lot of people will say there's no way Chris Paul is better than Steve Nash, and you can make that claim, but they are pretty close. Like, I'm pretty sure Chris Paul looked at some Steve Nash film and was like, "Yeah, I'm getting it down." You know what I'm saying? He probably kind of missed some of his game, not all, but some of his game. You gotta give credit to Steve Nash.
Shout out to Bender.
Shout out to Bender as well. Coming in number 28, John Havlicek. John Havlicek was a pretty good player for the Celtics. He's an 8-time NBA champion thanks to those Bill Russell days. But
Way
You know what
before
I'm
our
saying?
time.
He not only was Bill Russell, he was the captain of that team and the best player of that team, but Havlicek was right up there. You could get buckets.
If Bill was the general, Havlicek was definitely his lieutenant.
Yeah. Coming in at number 27, one that I feel like should be higher up, but might have to say this for another. One of the best shooting guards in the league, Dwayne Wade. Now,
Marquette's finest.
Dwayne Wade has had his problems with injuries, so a lot of people I don't know if you really have him this high or have him this high, if you have him low, or if you have him high. I personally have him higher. To me, it's Jordan, Kobe. You could probably put somebody else in there, like West was a combo guard, Jerry West. So if you want to put him up there as a shooting guard, possibly. Dwayne Wade is top 5 shooting guards, I say. Maybe Drexler.
As far as the list goes, I can see him higher, but I'm okay with kind of where he's at because, you know, you have so many other positions, and we're doing all time.
Yeah.
And Dwayne Wade is a beast. I would never say that he's not. I can't take away nothing that man has accomplished. Even at Marquette, he was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? This is a pretty decent ranking, I guess I could say. And he is very good at the shooting guard position. Only thing I'll say is this. Dwayne Wade, we all know has issues with his body.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. You know, compared to like Kobe and all those guys, they've always had somebody who was like Kobe and Jordan. They always had a team that they could play around. And for Dwayne, his body, him having to carry the majority of the load, that was probably something that's going to be, I don't know what to say, man. It's just bad altogether.
But one of the most athletic guards to ever play the game. I know personally in the 06 finals, it was horrible to watch my Mavs get defeated by.
They got demolished. Let's call it spade a spade.
And he's
ass got whooped.
He's a 3-time.
Ass got whooped.
He's a 3-time NBA champion. You know what I'm saying? The 2 with him and LeBron and Bosh, and then the one that he got with Shaq in the Heat. But the Heat's greatest player, without a doubt, the greatest player in Miami Heat history. So we're going to kind of speed it up a little bit. But 26 is Zeke, Isaiah Thomas.
Pistons.
Pistons, Joe Dumars and Isaiah, you know, so the Bad Boys.
Leader of the Bad Boys.
Watch the documentary if you don't know about the Bad Boys.
Yes. Jordan Rules, look them up.
Jordan Rules. Let's just say this. In the 80s, we all know Magic Johnson was the best point guard in the 80s, early 90s. Right behind him was this man. I don't know anybody else.
I'd go ahead and say he might be it, since, you know, Magic was 6'8".
Yeah.
And Isaiah was a point guard at his size.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah. Hey, he tenacious or tenacious? Don't make fun of me, people. It's not nice. Let's go.
Okay, 25. The best Robin in NBA history. Scottie Pippen.
Tim Drake.
Not a lot there's a lot you can say about Scottie Pippen. I mean, without Jordan, they don't win. Without Jordan, the Bulls don't win those 6 rings.
We got to
3 peats, but we have to acknowledge
because Pippen, like you said, was the greatest assister to the team.
Yes.
If anything, I would say good Lord, Pistons. Pippen. Pippen was obviously one of the first times that people used point forward as far as that position because he definitely had vision. He definitely could get buckets as well as Jordan. Maybe
he could drop 50.
Right.
He could drop 50.
And, you know, with him, like the time they dropped they both dropped like 30 40, something like that. Yeah. So, you know, he's the only one that could play up to that level with Jordan. And, I can definitely see that.
People talk about the best backcourts, and, you know, we have a lot of explosive backcourts now in today's age. The Splash Brothers, those boys in Toronto. If Bill can stay healthy, the Wizards' backcourt. And now the Blazers with 3J, CJ, and Damian Lillard. A lot of backcourts, but if you go past the backcourts and Jordan and Pippen perhaps the best combination of a guard and forward. I mean, I haven't seen anybody do that since Dwayne Wade and LeBron.
Yeah, as far as this modern age.
Yeah, okay. Now moving on. We're gonna speed up. Elgin Baylor, number 24. Not much needs to be said about Elgin Baylor. He got buckets. He averaged 27.4.
Great player, very great player. Even better personality. I've heard.
Now, a youngin in the game, tearing up the game right now. The reigning MVP, the NBA champ
right now.
Number 23, Steph Curry. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say Steph Curry better than Nash. Steph Curry better than Chris Paul. I mean, Steph Curry, bro, is taking the lead by storm right now. The reigning MVP, possibly gonna get it again this year. So
he's doing some crazy things.
Coming in at number 23 all time. Now, again, we're gonna get to the bottom of. We don't know what ESPN is ranking these people on, but so far they have Steph Curry as number 23.
And his brother Seth is 22.
Number 22, Kevin Durant. Number 22 all time, Kevin Durant. The easy money sniper. When it comes down to the why you need a bucket, pass it to Durant, bro. But a lot of people say number 22, he has no rings. He has no rings, but he's better than Dwayne Wade. Steph, he's been in the league for a while. He's been in the league for a good little bit. So, the easy money sniper at number 22. Some people may argue with that.
I'm not arguing.
Number 21, the big ticket, Kevin Garnett. He has one of the greatest defensive players our generation has ever seen.
Yeah, turn extra lights on. LEDs were invented for Kevin Garnett.
The Timberwolves all-time great. When he didn't win the championship, he teamed up with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo.
I had to. Oh God! Why you had to think of that?
We're running out here. But again, the big ticket, number 21, in his own right. Moving along,
we have guests.
Number 20, the Admiral, David Robinson. One of the best centers of all time, but there are a couple of centers that you would take.
Let me say this. I'm going to say this. Where he's at, I'm okay with, but at the same time, early 90s, he really didn't get on until like Duncan got there, for real.
Yeah, true. Young Tim Duncan helped the Admiral. But
yeah, Tim came out of Wake Forest and
in his own right was still a great player.
Yeah, and no, go ahead and interrupt. So like you had Patrick Ewing and Elijah Wan. I see the Admiral as like I said, great player. Where he's at on the list, it could be debated, but I'm okay with it, I guess. I mean, I have no choice. ESPN has wrote the laws.
Apparently.
The rankings. Somebody gave them the script to do that. So yeah. Way to go, ESPN.
Moving right along. We said earlier about Isaiah Thomas. He and Magic were the two best point guards in the 80s, early 90s. But the 90s was taken by storm when
a white boy from Gonzaga
by the name of John Stockton came through, and he and his teammate, who will probably be on this list later on, Karl Malone, one of the best combinations of, you know what I'm saying, a point guard, power forward.
Because white boys can't jump, but they can pass.
And steal the ball. He couldn't get rings. That's the only thing that's keeping him from being the greatest. Even though we all know it's probably gonna be Magic's spot, but apparently he's better. You heard the other point guards that were named earlier, CP3, Nash. Isaiah Thomas, Stockton's. He couldn't get the hardwood, but
sorry, Stockton. Hey,
he's number 19.
That's cool.